Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking all about my MacBook. Woo. So if you guys saw my unboxing video, that was about a month ago, and now I actually have an opinion on the MacBook and have really gotten to mess with it and use it for a lot of things, and I just wanted to share my thoughts after having it for a little over a month now. Let me just put out a little disclaimer that I am by no means a tech reviewer or very knowledgeable in tech. I am just a normal girl who enjoys, you know, having tech and social media. I have all Apple products, and I'm just giving my personal opinion on my MacBook and how it has worked out for me using it in everyday life for like browsing or editing and uploading YouTube videos or for my small business. This is just my opinion on how it's worked out for me. If you want a more in-depth video explaining all the inner workings of it, this is not the video for you. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about a couple things before I talk about like the pros and the cons of it. Why I went for the MacBook Pro over the MacBook Air. I've just always had MacBook Pros. I mean, this is actually only my second one, but you know, I had a Pro before this, and so it kind of wasn't a question. I just knew I wanted to have another Pro. I do think, however, that you could go for an Air and still get a lot of the same stuff done, because this new M1 chip is amazing, and everything about the laptop is amazing, and I'm seeing a lot of people who, you know, do YouTube and schoolwork and stuff, and they have the Air and it's working just fine for them. So yeah, it just came down to a personal preference. I just figured kind of like go big, go home, let's get the Pro. And at the time I had figured like, oh, that's what's gonna work for me. Come to figure out, I probably could have gotten away with the Air, but I just really enjoy Pros, so I am perfectly happy with my Pro. Okay, and next up is the touch bar. So I went from a 2015 MacBook Pro to the brand new 2020 MacBook Pro, meaning that my old MacBook did not have a touch bar. So I've been adjusting to it, and I actually think that I adjusted to the entire laptop itself pretty quickly. I mean, not that much has changed, but I adjusted really quickly to using like a brand new laptop and the touch bar and everything. So for me, I'm kind of indifferent about the touch bar. It's like a love-hate relationship, honestly. I feel like it's cool in theory, but it's kind of like overkill in some areas, just because I just think that there's some things that are unnecessary, and I would just personally rather just have the buttons there and just not even have a touch bar. Like, there's a couple things that I've noticed, like if you're on YouTube with my old laptop, I could just hit a button if I wanted to adjust the sound, but now it's like I have to hit the volume button, and then there's like a slider and I can turn the volume up or down. So obviously it doesn't take that much longer, but I'm just kind of like, that's an added step that wasn't there before, you know what I mean? Also, when you're like on YouTube or watching videos, it just kind of mimics what the screen has. Like, for instance, the slider on like a YouTube video, it has that on the touch bar also, which I don't know, I'm just kind of like, I'm just so in habit of like scrolling with the mouse or the trackpad that I probably wouldn't even think about doing that. The only thing that I do find kind of useful is when you first log on to like Safari and it comes up with all of your frequently visited websites, so like Google, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. It comes up with little icons and you can just click it instead of having to like type it in or whatever. So, you know, it saves you like a second of time, but that's kind of the only thing that I use it for besides like volume control. Yeah, like I said, I'm still kind of messing with it, but it's just kind of like, it's just kind of there for me, and like a lot of the things that it offers, I'm just already so in the mode of like doing it a certain way that I wouldn't really go out of my way to use the touch bar to do it, if that makes sense. But you know, if you're into that, I think that there are like some shortcuts and stuff that you can use on there. I'm still kind of figuring it out. Yeah, I'm just kind of indifferent about it. And then next up is the keyboard. So this MacBook actually has a new keyboard. I think it's probably not new to some of you, but it's new to me because I'm coming from a 2015. I used to have the butterfly keyboard, and this is the Magic keyboard. Personally, I mean, I know that everybody is raving about the Magic keyboard and says that they can like feel such a difference, and I just can't. It doesn't really feel that different to me. I mean, at this point I've kind of forgotten what the keys on my old MacBook feel like. I know they also sound different, but that doesn't really bother me. But the one thing that I will say is I used to get like crumbs and like just fuzz and debris and stuff jammed in my old keyboard all the time, and like I wouldn't be like eating while using my laptop, but it's just like crumbs would just find their way in, and then the keys would jam up and it would be really, really hard to get it out, which is a common complaint of that keyboard. And so far, I mean, like I said, I haven't really been eating around my laptop or anything, but I have not noticed it with this one. Haven't really noticed any like crumbs or anything getting stuck in the keyboard, and that's what they really vouch for, is that that won't happen. So I guess that I'll see. Maybe I should do like a test and eat and just see if anything gets stuck in there, but I don't really want to jam my keyboard. But that's just something that I've noticed personally, so I don't really feel a difference like on my fingers when I'm typing or anything. But yeah, I have noticed that, so yeah. Okay, so let's get into the pros and the cons. I'm gonna go over the pros first. First pro, it's super fast. This is by far the fastest laptop that I've ever had. It just loads up everything so quick. Any programs that I want to use, any browsing, I feel like it has uploaded my YouTube videos way faster than my old laptop ever did. So that's really good. I also have noticed that the fan, I mean, to get that fan working, I don't even know what you would have to do, because with my old laptop, you know when your laptop sounds like it's about to be like it's about to take off or fry an egg or something? That used to happen with my old laptop all the time. And whenever I was trying to upload a video to YouTube, it would just take off like crazy. And this one doesn't, and I have actually not heard the fan since I've gotten it, which is insane to me. I mean, I'm not doing like crazy things, but it's just stuff that the fan would have kicked on with my old MacBook, so that's just crazy to me. Laptop also has not gotten warm since I've had it. I saw a tweet and it had said, I kind of miss my old MacBook because it used to keep my lap warm. I was like, kind of true. This thing literally does not even get warm. It's insane, but it is super, super fast. Yeah, opens up programs and just works really fast with things. Another pro is that it obviously has an amazing battery life. That is something that Apple really made known and really like advertised for this, and I can vouch that it has a very, very good battery life. I can honestly go days without charging my laptop, and that's just like regular use, you know, just web browsing, editing videos, doing stuff like that. I can sometimes go a couple days without charging it, which is wild to me because my old laptop, I was like constantly had it plugged into the charger. Okay, I'm gonna talk about some cons now. So one con is that since it's new, some programs are like still adjusting to it and are not formatted for this laptop, for like the M1 chip or Big Sur or anything like that. So I personally had some problems with it at first because I had problems with Microsoft Word, and I also had problems with my printer. I have a Canon printer and it would not recognize my printer when I plugged it in. And the problem with Microsoft is it would just like freeze, and then I would literally try to like type one letter and it would freeze and then type the letter, and then it was just a really annoying process. Like Word was basically like I couldn't use it because it was so slow. They ended up coming up with an update, and I'm not really sure if that's, I mean, that has to be what solved it, but Microsoft had an update and Big Sur had an update, and after that, both of those programs work now perfectly fine. They're awesome. But I do know that this is a problem with some other programs. Like I think that Photoshop is still not, what is the word? I can't think of the word, but it's not yet formatted for the M1 chip or for this laptop. So you can still use the old versions. I'm not sure if it would be like as slow as Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word one or quicker. I don't have Photoshop, so I honestly don't know. But I do know that there are some programs that just run a little bit slow. They're not formatted for it. So that's just something to look out for. Maybe double check if there's a program that you use in your everyday life. Just double check that it's running smooth on this new laptop before you commit to it. Because I know for me, I was in for a surprise when, especially my printer I use every single day, and it couldn't connect to my printer. I didn't know what I was gonna do for a while, but we got it all figured out. Okay, and another con that I have for it is that it only has USB-C ports, which this isn't a new thing. This is a thing that's been happening for a while. This is also gonna become the new norm eventually. But if you look here, it has 2 USB-C ports on this side, and then this side only has a headphone jack. So when I got it, I was under the impression that there was gonna be like a couple more ports in here, but I mean, I guess it is pretty thin. I mean, like, guys, this is the Pro, this is thin, right? I remember my laptop from like 2010 that was like that thick, you know what I mean? Yeah, so when I got it, I kind of bought it on a whim, which you might know if you watch my old video, and I didn't pay attention to the fact that it only had USB-C ports and I did not have an adapter. I had to go a couple days without an adapter, but I bought one, and so it's just kind of, until things start adjusting to that, it's a little annoying to have to like plug in your adapter and then plug in like the USB-A port or an SD card or HDMI, whatever. It's totally like, this is like a first world problem. It's fine, like I do it all the time, but it is just a little annoying, like, you know, having something so brand new that nothing else has adjusted to it yet, and so you kind of have to take extra steps. That's all. And I think that's about it. I have really come to enjoy this laptop. I use it every day. I knew I was gonna love it, but yeah, I really like it and I use it all the time. And I'm excited to see where Apple is going to take it, because I've heard some news of wireless charging becoming an option. Charge your phone or your watch with your computer. That would be awesome, and I'm excited to see when other programs start kind of like being formatted for this, how that's gonna change and what new things are gonna come with this laptop. But in my opinion, it is totally worth it. As I said earlier, I think if you're just using it for day-to-day use or for school, you could totally get away with the Air. The Air is also more affordable than this one, but it's totally up to you. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, feel free to leave them below and I will try to answer them as best as I can. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.